Yeah, we're really excited to get back here. I think we've had a very productive off season. Rick and Rob, Ryan Munnins, they've done an unbelievable job. I told them that yesterday. They've done an unbelievable job of trying to address some of the needs and holes that we have on this football team. And then Mark and Ziggy, they were outstanding as far as giving them the okay to do these same type of things. We've had a couple really good days here with the rookies out here. They've come in and recalled a lot of things that we talked about in the spring, and it was great to get our hands on them. As far as get the fans out here tomorrow, it's going to be 105 heat index, so they're going to have to hydrate whatever they decide to hydrate with. But it'll be great to get them back in US Bank Stadium, where we have a distinct advantage with our crowd and our fans. So with that, I'll do my best to answer questions.
Mike, with Rick Dennison,
Excuse me?
With Rick Dennison, what do you envision his role being this year?
Yeah, we set it up, so part of this was, Rick is a football coach, and he's got 40 years of experience doing what he's doing. And so I felt like it was important that we use him as a resource, but we also give him the opportunity to continue to work. With the way the protocols are, that you can't be around the players in person, and so, but he has so much knowledge and so much experience that I felt like he could be a big help with Rick and Clint, and myself, so that we can go from there. So basically, what he's going to be doing is, he's going to watch the practice with the offensive coaches. He's going to be helping to evaluate, little things like I've got Paul Gunther up there with me now, and he'll sit in the meetings and we'll talk about, have you thought about doing it this way, or is he taking the right step on this particular run, or is he shooting his left hand the way he's supposed to do it? So all those things are things that I think he can really help us with. And then the next part, with that part with training camp, and as we prepare for games, as we start getting ready for the games in the season, he'll be helping with game plan ideas, third down ideas, protection ideas, and things like that. And Phil's the one who, I also felt like it's important that there's one voice in that meeting room, so he's going to be in charge of the meeting room. I've got the utmost confidence in Phil. He's had very, very many opportunities to leave here, and we've talked him out of it, because I figured that someday he might, Rick might decide to retire or whatever, and Phil would be ready to go on this thing. So, but he's had a lot of opportunities to leave, and it was important that way. So I felt this was the best win-win situation for our football team, and also with Rick. And I was, luckily, Peter Schaefer and Rick did a good job of hammering out the ideas, and the coaches came up with, what his specific duties would be.
Mike, is Rick still going to be the run game coordinator, or someone else?
No, he's going to be the consultant. We won't have a run game coordinator. We're going to do it collectively.
Mike, is this arrangement for this year only, or would this go back to the way it was back this year?
Ben, so many things change throughout the course of the season with protocols, and the NFL might change things, and maybe he decides to get vaccinated, or who knows. So the deal is that I said that we will address all those issues when the time comes. So as of for right now, that's what it's going to be, and then we'll figure it out if things change.
And Mike, you were really outspoken at the end of minicamp to the players about the importance of getting vaccinated to help the season go smoother. How do you feel like the team is at this point, like entering camp?
Yeah, it's so I'm going to talk personally right now. Okay, so personally, with this Delta variant the way it is right now, and the people that are getting infected, I think it's extremely important that everyone gets vaccinated. Everyone has to make their own decisions. Same thing with our players. But I will continue to push that they understand everything. Like we've had Dr. Sills, and we've had former players, and all those guys talk about the reasons why you should get vaccinated. And I think I also think that you're seeing a lot of people now that didn't get vaccinated that are deciding that, you know what, maybe we should have. So I just want our players to be safe. I want them to be healthy. I want their families to be healthy and safe. And if they don't get vaccinated, they got to follow the protocols.
In June, 3 prominent players, Adam Thielen, Harrison Smith, and Sheldon Richardson, all said they weren't vaccinated. Do you talk to them personally? Do you talk to players personally who you know aren't vaccinated, or what?
No, I talk to the team. Then they make their own decisions, and it is what it is.
Mike, can you say what the team-wide rate is at this
Excuse
point?
me?
Can you say what the team-wide rate is for the locker room? Are you at 70, 80%?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Mike, how are you gonna make sure that this doesn't become a divide in the team?
Well,
Vaccinated,
yes,
unvaccinated?
I understand exactly what you're saying, Joe. I'm going to talk to him about it, you know, but I don't feel it's going to be that way. You know, most of these guys feel like they're bulletproof anyway, you know, with their age and their athleticism and things like that. So, you know, we're going to make sure that we treat each other with respect, you know, and understand that, you know, guys make decisions because of whatever reasons that they have. And so, as long as they're following protocols like the NFL asked them to do, just like they're asking us to do, then, you know, I have no problem with it. But, you know, it will be more stressful on them. You know, they're going to have to wait out in their car for 30 minutes after they get tested. And, you know, just there's a lot of things they're going to have to do. But that's their choice and that's their decision.
Mike, Danielle Hunter said when we talked to him at OTAs that he's not rushing to get back in football shape. He says he's at 100% health, but how soon do you anticipate we'll be back doing football things?
Tomorrow.
Hey, how do you feel about the kicker situation right now?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to tell in practice. You know, Greg Joseph made him every kick in practice. We try to put him in pressure situations and things like that. I do believe that we have to be better in special teams overall. We have to be more explosive in the return game. That's part of the reason why we signed Dede. You know, we have to create some big plays on both kickoff and punt returns. But I do feel like the depth of our football team will allow us to be better in a lot of these phases, coverage phases and return phases and things like that. So, you know, we'll just keep plugging away. I've been really impressed with what he did in the spring, and then we'll, you know, hopefully it'll continue throughout the season.
In just terms of on the field, what are the challenges of replacing an offensive line coach right at the start of the game?
Well, really, it's really not that much, honestly. I mean, they've been using the same techniques and things for 2 years. If there was a completely different system, they brought a guy in off the street that was going to change how they, you know, the protection calls and the run game calls and things like that. But Phil's been in this system for quite a while. He's in Washington, you know, when they ran it, you know. So, and he's got a great feeling for what we've been trying to do with the run game, the calls, the steps, the footwork, the hand placement. And Phil is a very aggressive, boisterous, I guess is a good word for it, coach that will push these guys.
Mike, with Jalen Twine, how's he doing mentally, physically, based on knowing?
You know, I guess the best way to answer that would be anytime you've been shot 4 times, you're going to be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe nervous about, you know, things. I guess the best way to say it. So we'll just take our time with him and kind of go from there.
Mike, Rick mentioned excitement from the coaching staff about the receivers now that Dede Westbrook is here. Past Thielen and Jefferson, how do you see that battle shaping
Yeah,
up?
I don't know. You know, KJ Osborne had a really good spring. Amar Smith-Marset he's, you know, I watch him out here today with the rookies, and you know, he does a lot of really good things. You know, so we'll let it all play out. These guys all have opportunities. You know, fortunately, we got a couple really good tight ends that we can use in those situations as well. You know, I anticipate that there'll be a lot of 2 tight end formations as we continue to move forward anyway. and use Irv as some of the mismatch kind of things on some linebackers, and depending on what the defenses are doing against us. And so, but I watched Dede work out the other day, and man, he caught everything. It was very, very impressive, and he's a big speed guy. He's been a really good returner. So we'll see how all shakes out. We got a lot of time.
Mike, with Dede coming off of that ACL, is that something where you feel like you need to take it slow with him, or is he pretty much full go?
Well, that's kind of why we waited a little bit to see where he's at. And he's ready to go, so we'll get out here tomorrow and go.
Mike, how much less anxiety do you have heading into camp this year? When you had the camps, you signed some veteran players, where last year it was just completely opposite.
Yeah, I always have anxiety. It's that's why I got the big bottle of Pepto-Bismol up there. I think it will be. It is much better. We've had a chance to work with the players and talk to them, and I have not been able to have a team meeting with them in person yet, which I will today for the first time, which is good. I think it's important that we see, I see what they're doing when I'm talking to them, as opposed to playing on their phone or thinking that they're on a Zoom or something like that too. So I think all those things are important. I'm excited about this football team. I think these guys upstairs have honestly done an unbelievable job filling a lot of the holes that we have, and add guys like Sheldon Richardson and get Michael Pierce and Calvin Tomlinson and Pat Peterson, and Breland, and Xavier Woods. He had a good spring, so it's going to look completely different, and I like the way that this group is heading.